Cubs took care of business. Great come from behind win against the Rays. They didn't sweep them, but they took 2 out of 3. And then they got some help. Dodgers took care of the Giants. The Reds lost. And now you look at the Cubs, and they took a big step forward to officially clinching a spot in the postseason. And they're in position to be the number 1 wild card team. We're going to get into that. Owen Caissie hits the IL. We'll talk about that and more right here on the Cubs baseball channel. So like, subscribe, thumbs up, make fun of the Cardinals, whatever you guys want to do. But thank you for being here. And let's get the show started. Here we go. What do you say, everybody? Welcome to the Cubs baseball channel, and thank you for being here today as we talk the Cubs, as we do on a daily basis. And there is our AveD. That's Mick Nation. That's my spot. We're giving away playoff tickets, and we got one step closer to officially being able to buy those playoff tickets. So hit that QR code, play the games. Everything's free. And thank you guys for being here for the show. All right, let's get started here. Cubs magic number is down to 6. Now, this isn't 6 to be the number 1 wild card. This is 6 to make the playoffs. But think about how things have been over the last couple years, right? Like, we haven't made the playoffs. We got, pretty close, and then things fell short, right? And the whole thing was, we got to get to 90 wins. Well, the Cubs are well on their way to 90 wins. They picked up their 85th win, and they have a comfortable lead for the top wild card spot. They have a big lead as far as being the team that clinches in the postseason. And it's exciting to kind of see this team because they're doing it right now without their star player. They're not doing it with Kyle Tucker leading the way. It's been other guys. Nico Horner had a big game. Ian Happ's had some big games. But it's time for other guys to step up, because if they're going to win the World Series, and that's the goal, it's going to have to be more than Tucker. And Tucker right now is dealing with a calf injury. They're being very gentle with that. They should be. Let him get healthy. Let other guys step in. And then when the postseason comes, you hope that you have him back at 100% to make a difference, because that's when it's going to matter. So maybe like a week left, get him healthy, get him out there on the field, and then, take advantage of this guy that the Cubs have given up so much to get, and has the ability to lead them like he did the Astros into the postseason, whether that be the World Series or a championship. But that's the goal, is to get to the World Series, win it. And they're going to need Tucker to do that. But they didn't need him today or yesterday. And it was a good win for the Cubs. And it got that magic number to 6. I saw the Dodgers put a beat down on the Giants again. The Reds lost. Those are the 2 teams every day you're just like, checking them off the list, And that turned out to be great, right? So now you just need 6. You either win 6, you win 3, they lose 3, whatever. But the Cubs right now at this point, 99.9% chance to make the postseason. You still want that top wild card spot, because you host the games in the first round. You want to host those at Wrigley. That's the goal. And right now it looks like it's going to be the Cubs and the Padres in that first round of the postseason. That's a tough team. The Padres are good. They have star players. They have a good pitching staff. They're going to be a tough out in that first round. And then the winner of that series would play Milwaukee, which I think is a winnable series for either one of those teams. And I almost feel like you're almost better off just winning in that first series, getting momentum, and then going into the second series and taking care of business, right? So we'll see how this plays out. I don't want to get ahead of myself too much, but I will tell you that the Cubs are they're knocking. They're getting there, and it's awesome, like I said, to see other players besides everybody waiting around for Tucker to do it. Pete Crow Armstrong, since the All-Star break, Hollywood Pete has been terrible. And that's baseball. The league's adjusted to him. He's a free swinger. They're taking advantage of it. He's going to have to go back to the drawing board now and adjust. And that part of that adjustment is that he's going to have to take more pitches. And he's going to have to go look at what they're doing and figure out how to counteract that. So that's the game. That's why it's so tough to play baseball. I think he'll be able to do that. But, he's sitting at what 28 home runs, and all he needs is 2 more for 30. Is he going to get there? I don't know. I hope so. But this game is so tough. And he's finding that out right now. Cubs and Padres, most likely that first round matchup. Now, the Mets have been in a major tailspin. And you look up and you're like, okay, the Giants are in this mix. The Reds are in this mix. It's like a 3-way kind of fight for that last wild card spot. But the Mets still game and a half ahead of those teams. They can't quite seem to catch them. And they're running out of time right now. So, you almost feel like the Mets are going to back in. Sometimes the teams that back in get into the postseason and figure it all out. I'm not sure how that's going to be, but, it's interesting. All right, Owen Caissie to the 7-day IL concussion protocol. I saw this coming. Him and Hollywood Pete got tangled up on a fly ball a couple of days ago, Saturday. He caught the ball, slammed into the bricks and the ivy. He hit his head, and obviously disappointed. I felt like this guy should have been on this team playing right field for a while. And it's like, I said it yesterday, like sometimes it feels like the Cubs are purposely not paying attention to the way that their lineup struggles and trying to find answers to help the lineup not struggle, right? So now they got Moises Ballesteros in there, and he's been great. And they had Owen Caissie. He did well, but they didn't want to play him. They sent him to the minors. He comes back, and now he's immediately on the IL. So Kevin Alcantara is back out there again. We'll see if he can help out. I'm not as confident in his ability as I am with Owen Caissie, but Caissie's 7 days out. And then I wonder if that runs into Kyle Tucker returning. And if Caissie just had some bad luck, and the bad luck could be, hey, I got hurt. The bad luck could be the team's not giving me a chance, whatever it is. I hate that he's not there to get the opportunity to help this team win. Now, Cubs with the series win over Tampa Bay. Now they hit the road and they play the Pirates in a series. And this is another series that you feel like is very winnable for the Cubs. Although I respect the Pirates, even though the Pirates are 20 games under 500, I mean, they got some players, man. I mean, like, eventually they're going to be a pretty good team just because they have so much young talent. Jamison Tyone, 9-6 with a 4.15 ERA against Braxton Ashcraft. Ashcraft, I beg your pardon. And Ashcraft is someone that, he's definitely worth keeping an eye on, as far as some of the things that he can do out on the mound. And, he's going to get the start in this game. And so Ashcraft 4-2 with a 2.47 ERA. We've seen him a few times. He's tough to get hits off of. It's in Pittsburgh. That's a 5:40 first pitch there. And what people feel like is the best stadium in baseball. And they do. I mean, like you'll hear a lot of people that travel, scouts will tell me, best stadium in baseball is in Pittsburgh. They just like the sight lines. They like the view. I haven't been there, so I couldn't say. I think we're all biased. We love Wrigley, but I mean, if you got out of that, Camden Yards is really great. Giant Stadium, what is that? AT&T Field's great, but you keep hearing so many people talk about what Pittsburgh's got going on with that stadium. So the Cubs will try to continue to go and just pick up games. And now it's just a matter of winding it down to officially being a playoff team. And I can't wait to get on here when it's official and celebrate the Cubs back in the postseason and then try to get things lined up for that postseason. But anyway. All right, guys, thanks for being here. When things go, we'll definitely jump out here and tell you. Right now it's been pretty much just locked in, and this team trying to pick up wins, which I think they've done. And like I said, I really think it's a good sign when it's people on this team that are contributing that aren't the guys you look at and go, hey, he's who I need to contribute. Like great teams, it comes through the entire lineup. And so Nico, hey, drive in those runs, man, get those hits. Ian Happ, get him going. And I'd love to see Seiya Suzuki get some big hits. And Dansby Swanson. I think when the Cubs are at their best, it's when Dansby Swanson's doing his thing at the plate. I think when you're getting contributions from him, what he does on the field defensively and running the bases, but when he's hitting, team's so much better. And we appreciate you guys for hanging out. I want to remind you guys, too, that the show is presented by the folks in Sevierville. Yeah, the fourth most visited area when you talk about coming to the mountains is the Chicagoland area. So a ton of you guys from Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, take your vacations in Sevierville. Take your vacations really in the Smoky Mountains. So if you haven't done it in a while, think about it. And look, I've got a talking fish that'll convince you.
When you head to the Smoky Mountains, it's only natural to visit Sevierville.
Even we had to check it out.
And we've been here our whole lives.
Experience the adventure of a lifetime.
I'm king of the world.
Even you can get a bird's eye view of the Smokies.
You're going down, Billy. Whoa.
Your Smokies start here.